My people, being able to understand a problem or challenge is not enough. We must also understand exactly what must be done and how it must be done in a bid to resolve it. I say this to you because we have not used the right approach to curtail corruption. This is why all our efforts, protests, agitations, literature, activism, and all our complaining, whining, praying, and yelling has not yielded any tangible result. But rather, the situation is getting worse by the day. But if we are to be intentional about resolving the issue of corruption or just curtailing it to a minimum, we must understand the root causes of corruption. There is no way around this. And to understand the root causes of corruption, we must study to comprehend the nature, character, essence, and the need for laws and systems even before the existence of man. After that, we will now advance into understanding the origin of the civil society and the political system. After that, we will now compare the differences between the natural system and the political system. We are now comparing this because the natural systems, they work better than our man-made laws or systems. So by that, you will now understand where there is a compromise or where there is a shortcoming in our own political systems. When you know this, it will now become easier to resolve the issues with our political system and its underperformance so far. When you've done this, you can now also study the behavior, the nature, character of the individual, such that in trying to bring up solutions why our systems are not working, you will not ignore the character and nature of man as you're bringing up your solutions. Because if you make a mistake to underestimate or overrate the capacity of the individual, you will get a wrong result. The approach or the solution you've brought up will not be sustainable. Okay, with that being said, I want to bring this to your attention so that you will notice how far or how ignorant we have been or chosen to ignore the character of man as we try to resolve the issue of corruption. In social sciences, when you want to make a statement and you're collecting data, it depends on what you're looking for. If you want to know the mortality rate of children in Benue State and you check it and it is about 90%, you would say the mortality rate of infants in Benue State is high, which means that we are reacting to this. If you have something to do about it, you know, and try to take caution of this. The exception of the 10% is silent, though it is there, but this is where we react. Now, in sciences, after research and observations are made, ultimately a hypothesis is made and tested over and over, such that there is no failure and the result is 100%. A theory is propounded. In this area, there are little or no exceptions, like the law of gravity. Anywhere you go, you see it. The theory of relativity. These are proven facts. You cannot argue them. But this is where we are, right? So, in or under a democratic context or situation, when an issue is deliberated and a solution is to be made with conflicting interests, we now use a method called majority vote. They vote and the highest people, they get the decision to be made. You understand?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So now, this exception is there, but this is where we act. This is how we react. This is how we react. In this situation, the percentage is what we are going with. Now, when it comes to the ordinary citizens in a country to obey the law, you check their tendency of disobeying the law is 80%, since research has it that the individual is more selfish than altruistic or selfless. The tendency of the individual to disobey the law is 80%, while 20% is a tendency of him obeying the law. Now, what do? We take caution. Here we react on the 80%. We now create the law enforcement agencies to compare people that have a higher tendency of disobeying the law to whether they like it or not. Even if it is against their interest, they obey the law. You get? Even with this exception, this is what we have reacted to. Here,
yeah.
You understand? So now, in the same vein, the political leader is also an individual with higher chances of being corrupt and just 20% chances of being selfless and reacting towards or protecting the interests of the people to create common good. In this context now, We have refused to follow logic that we've been using in other areas of life, or even how to deal with human beings. All right?
Yeah.
Here we have decided that we settle on the 20% chances, which are slimmer for the individual who is a political leader who has unchecked power to all of a sudden develop the capacity to do good for the people. But this capacity to do good for everybody is at 20%.
Yeah.
You understand? This is not what we are looking for. We should also craft a means or a system that will compel even the political leader to always stay or obey the law. It's not that when it is in their interest, they obey the law. When it goes against their interest, they now defy the law with so much impunity. No one to punish them. But this question is the ultimate question, where the laws are there. People say the laws are there, but the implementation is the thing. This is because of reasons. The individual is selfish, and secondly, he's not afraid even to commit crime or even steal our monies. You understand?
Yeah.
So I am saying, instead of hoping and trusting that man or the political leader is to do good for the people, let's ensure by crafting a system which is already there but is porous, a separation of powers. It's not done properly. That is why you're not seeing a proper or effective system of check and balance. This is where the discussion should be. This is where we should react. This is where we should focus. Why do you now hope and trust when you can ensure? So I'm just saying, let's change our approach. Let's have the discussion here, which I already know what and what must be changed in order to know exactly what to get. This is the reason why, despite the slim chances of the political leader, through compassion and goodwill, doing good for the common good, we have still decided to trust and hope that he does good for us instead of taking caution or ensuring that he does what is right and always obey the law, even when it goes against his interest. Is this. You know that in the nature of human being, it is usual and typical of us to always choose what is easy over what is difficult. We always choose comfort over discomfort. And in this regard, getting the political leader to always stay within the corridors or dictates of the law is a very difficult thing to do. It is not easy. That is why you see that on a typical and ordinary basis, to get who is more powerful than you to do what you want is very difficult. Because if you don't say it right, because if he even beat you, join. Because he get power. You understand? So, in all difficult situations, we have always been able and only been able to use systems to achieve our goals in such difficult situations. Or it takes serious discipline to get this done. So to get the political leader to do what is right means that it takes critical thinking. We must meticulously observe the process of separation of power, such that power is shared accordingly, so that one person don't get past another person, or the politicians don't get past the judiciary, such that they will carry the judiciary put for pocket. Whether they steal election, they say, support us, the judiciary will say yes, yes, yes. Whether they thief money, say, don't say anything about it. Use your office, let us go scot-free. The judiciary will say yes, yes. Whatever. The judiciary is just saying yes, yes, because the politician, according to the constitution, has been positioned in a manner or little or slightly or largely and over above the judiciary. Then get power pass. You cannot deny this fact with a straight face. You understand? This is why you're not seeing an effective system of check and balance. So, do not choose the easy way out, which is just to complain and trust that the politician does what is best for our interest. But let's choose the difficult means. Most of they say what is good does not come easy. The one way good no come easy. The one way good no come easy. This is what it is.